Hello, everyone. Mr. Triton. So, possible error already. I don't think anybody can hear you. Yes, because I have my reliable source behind me. That would be
Yeah, I
good.
forgot to click the I forgot to click the mute button or the unmute button. So yeah, thank you for that. Hello everyone.
You
Welcome.
actually mute yourself.
I
Wow,
muted
that's a
myself on
legend.
the stream. Hello. It's every time, man. I can never get this done properly. It's just one issue after the other for me, but welcome everyone to SLR's Tier 2, Round 4 of Season 2. As I'm gonna redo that intro, it's
Yeah.
Triton and joined with Tipsy, who already said hello. He got his
Hello,
point.
everyone.
I think now I'm missing sound.
Again.
So yeah, we are. So I'm gonna fix that right now. There we go. Okay, but yeah, today, as I was saying, I think it'll be an interesting race because I mean, Mr. Onion Barge is not here. So if you guys have not been keeping up, he has been pretty much dominating the last two races. He won by about 20 something seconds in Bahrain and again in China. Um, this time, his title rival, who I have picked to be probably the dark horse of the whole season, who might actually win it, is Mr. Aaron, is back.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how
Well,
he does.
I did a practice session a few days ago, I think, with some of these boys here, and Aaron was just sticking in fastest lap all the time. So I would probably go with you on that one. Aaron is the real deal. I mean, it's not to write off anybody else. I mean, Bance, you can never write off Bance. Even Neth, look, he set some pretty decent times, but I think he DNF'd in the practice session. So Baku is a bit like Monaco. It's kind of like you're ultimately racing the track more than anything. But the only beauty about Baku, I find, is one of my personal favorite tracks, is that there is a bit of racing to be done as well. There's a lot of overtakes, and for people like Mr. Kitsune, who likes a bit of yeeting, as they would put it, Baku
Yes,
is a yeeting track. So I think we should be a good bit of action, as Chief did say to us in the Discord, that it's going to be a great one to call today. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, man, and looking
absolutely.
forward to doing it with yourself.
Yeah, let's see how this goes now as we're gonna ride on board with Aaron for a hot lap of Baku as we come down one of the fastest sections in the entire F1 calendar here, pretty much flat through the entirety of the third sector. So as he approaches the start finish straight here, we're gonna ride you on board here. So I don't know the corner number, so I'm just gonna go through this at the 150-meter board through turn one. Jam the brakes, get it turned in 90 degrees, so aerodynamics is almost not necessary here through turn two. Again, same thing after the 100-meter board onto the DRS, the second and final DRS straight here, which is a good place to overtake here on this straight coming up to turn three. After the 150-meter board, in between that and the 100-meter board, slam the brakes into that corner. They're very tight. Try and get the best exit you can in between the braking boards, as Blindevink's already hit the wall somewhere.
Yeah, I just seen it.
So now coming up into the end of sector one, into the two S's here, as I call them, which very tight, and the first one kind of leads you into the second one where you kind of have to lift off entirely and just hook it through. After the 100-meter board there, hit the brakes as we come into the infamous castle section. After that, underneath that brake box there, or that black box there, feed in and try and avoid the wall. It's extremely narrow. Into the next part of this section here, out of the castle, and now onto this next back straight here, which is completely flat in through these two corners here, coming up to probably one of the hardest corners on the track. Very narrow turn here. You can either avoid that curve or climb it and hope to not hit the wall and gain some time. As through the final corner here, final braking zone, at the 100-meter board, Aaron hits the brakes, coming through the final two S's taken flat, as I said earlier. This entire section is fastest on the F1 calendar, so you're going to be reaching about 212 miles per hour, and Aaron might get the slipstream here, which is going to help his lap time, as so far Plush. Oh, he's actually pitting, so I think he's invalidated that. But that is a lap of Baku.
Yeah, so I was running on board with Blindervink there, and turn three,
Oh dear.
It's the hard braking zone down to about second gear, and it's almost like a 90-degree to the left. Yeah, we've seen this happen quite a lot. I think Bance did it last season as well in qualifying. No, I think he did it in the race, whereby basically turns in too soon, and your left front catches the wall, and you just say goodbye to your tire.
Yeah, that's actually what we were talking about earlier. We were having a conversation before the stream started, and we were talking about this track essentially. And I said that for me, it's one of the hardest. It's probably the hardest track for me to drive personally because you have to be extremely focused and extremely dedicated to everything you do on this track. Like if you just let go of your focus for about 2 seconds, you're probably gonna hit the wall somewhere. Like the racing line is so close to the walls essentially that you want to be like, or the ideal racing line, I guess, is so close to these walls, especially through at the end of after the castle section, as I pointed out, the flat out back straight with those two corners. If you go anywhere near the wall and you just stop focusing, or you just kind of drift off, let your mind drift, you're gonna hit those walls and you're gonna lose your front wing. So, or even
See,
worse, you're going to spin out. Oh, sorry.
I love tracks like this. You see, Baku, Singapore, Monaco. I love tracks that keep you on the edge for every single corner, for every lap, for the entirety of the race. Um, because I think that's what the real old school Formula One was all about. It's drivers on the edge, pushing the car to the absolute limit, with danger right beside them on each wall. And it's kind of why I think some of the old school people, maybe the newer generation as well, don't really like these modern tracks with these massive runoffs, because then people can manipulate them, kind of run a little bit wide, kind of biting a little bit extra, exceeding the track limits. Whereby in those tracks like, I don't know, like Bahrain and even the Paul Ricard, if that white line was replaced by a wall, then you're going to see no one cutting that corner. So that's why I kind of like these kind of tracks where the danger is everywhere, every corner, every braking zone, everywhere you go, there's potential for disaster. And I don't know, it's just for me personally, I really enjoy that type of racing because as you were saying, you can drift off. I find anyway sometimes in races whereby your mind just switches off because it can get a little boring. But not to labour the point, but tracks like this just keep you on your toes for the entirety of the race.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, speaking of what you were saying there before about Singapore and Monaco, like I actually really enjoy driving those tracks for that reason, whereas it's pretty exciting. The corners are, I mean, people could disagree about Singapore, but I actually really enjoy that track with some of the corner layouts, and driving a car that has a really high aerodynamic like setup is probably one of my favorite things to do. So like that's why I like those two. Like I think Baku, my problem is just that it lacks that aero, so it's just kind of about speed, which I personally am not the biggest fan of. So I mean, like tracks like Monza and stuff, Asberg goes 6th fastest there. Those tracks are not really, or these tracks are not really my kind of taste. And also combine that with I guess the whole thing I was talking about earlier, like, and that you were talking about keeping it on edge. It kind of makes you try a bit too hard to keep it out of the wall, that you kind of drive not to your full potential, I would say. So. Or maybe it does, but at the same time, you know what I mean? I think it makes you a little bit too paranoid, I guess. In my case, it would.
See, I think that the variation of the tracks on the current calendar, I think it kind of tests the driver's ability completely, because there are some tracks where it's just about raw speed, and there are some boys who are just phenomenally fast. Then there are other tracks tests how fluid you are. But then I think tracks like Monaco, Singapore, and Baku are more technical tracks. You have to be technically perfect over speed, really. And that's why I like those kind of tracks where it kind of challenges that accuracy in your steering and your inputs. But what I would say, I think it's more of a challenge. Well, this is probably a no-brainer, but it's more of a challenge for boys who use no assists, because, I mean, I think it's no mystery or no secret that whenever you get to a track like Baku, the guys with the ABS, possibly traction control, they've got an advantage. And I remember, was it last season? You could just stick your ABS to 100% and it's exclusive
Yeah,
powered.
yeah. Last season with the ABS and the way it was designed, it was just basically stamp the brakes 50 meters late. You're not
Yeah.
risking any crazy tire wear, I don't think, and you basically have an advantage over everyone else. And a lot of, I mean, in the time trials especially, it was prominent. But in the race, there was a little bit of a downside to it with the tire wear, I think. But it was
Yeah.
still not enough to actually do anything major. You just two stop and you could probably make that time up if you're that much quicker than everyone. So, but yeah, I think this game it's a bit different as we're riding on board here with Mr. Aaron, the winner in Australia. If you missed that race, was a if we recall, yeah, he had a really good battle with Onion Barge in that
Yeah.
towards the end.
Yeah, I think we were all surprised. I think in the early stages, the most of the community weren't sure about whether the one stop could work, and so it was really interesting, I suppose, from everyone's point of view, to watch our Onion Barge, because he went for it, and he almost made it work. And he fought Aaron most of the way, and then eventually, of course, Aaron did get him on the fresher tires.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, there actually that's something we failed to mention. Is that now with the new patch that came out yesterday? I don't know if you got to take a look at that, but in qualifying right now, so everyone here will be in luck because now the previous issue with the qualifying was that as Aaron turns off his DRS and goes into the pits again, I don't know what he's planning, but now the tires, the tire wear in qualifying is back to normal, so it's not doubled like it was before. So you can probably get away with one stopping a lot more on some of the tracks, like especially Bahrain and China, where you could easily one stop if it wasn't for the double tire wear in qualifying. Now, you can, yeah, like I said, you can pretty much get away with that now. So it'll be interesting to see how these strategies work out. As I don't know if the mediums would still be quicker. I would assume it would be because I've actually tested it. The two strategies we could one stop. We could get one stops on the softs to hards.
Yeah.
But we could also see medium to hard as well, which could probably go about, the mediums could probably go half the race, and then the hards could go another half the race, over half the race. So if you go for the medium to hard, tire wear is probably not going to be a big issue if you hit around lap 12 or so. So that'll also be very interesting to see play out, because Bance is actually going out on medium tires right now. So meanwhile, Adam, actually, while I wasn't looking, has put in on pole position of 138.7. Because I think we've been too busy having these conversations that we're failing to look at
No,
the
it's
qualifying
well,
times.
see, the juicy bit for qualifying only starts happening around about now.
Yeah, that's
Um,
the good thing about it, I think.
I
But
think no, I think for Aaron, initially I thought he was maybe kind of bluffing, but I'm pretty sure he cut the corner and he's invalidated his time.
I think I saw him go through at the exit castle.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the left-hander before the exit onto the straight. Yeah, like where Adam is right now. I think he cut the corner there. So but yeah, it seems like a lot of people are avoiding that curb, which is going to be interesting to note because I think you can actually go over it to gain time and pretty much cut it almost, like put one wheel over it. But the problem is that it kind of slings you into the not the chicane, into
that's
the
right.
wall.
Yeah.
So let's see. I think Ben's going to be starting his lap on medium tires, so this is probably going to be his quali run here. So let's see, after the 150 meter, he goes onto the brakes, gets it well turned in for a turn one. You were mentioning it earlier, Vance is very good at some of these street circuits, especially like Monaco and here I've seen. So obviously, if you want, I think it's a good example of like being able to keep your own and maintain your focus under these conditions as he slightly taps the wall there. But
Bear in mind that I reckon, looking down the list, I think Bance and Timo may be the only two boys running no assists, unless Silver. I know Silver was supposed to say he has dropped them all, so quite possibly we have three drivers on no assists.
I think Silver's running no racing line at the moment.
Oh, right.
And he's running the other two, I think. But to be fair, I don't see how you can turn all three off at once. That's a bit overkill, in my opinion, and that's a bit
Yeah,
unfair.
yeah.
So to be able to take one off at a time, I would say Racing Line is probably the best one to do first. Because then you have the other two to keep the control there as Bance slightly hits the wall, but no damage, I don't think, as he's approaching the end of the lap. He's 8 tenths down on his previous lap, I think. So I don't think this is actually an improvement. Unless he's 8 tenths down on Aaron's lap, or Adam's lap, I mean. Then maybe I would see that, I guess. But as he's coming towards the end, yeah, he is going to keep this. No, he's pitting now, so he's going to have to hurry up and get a lap in, or pit and get out there. So Thimo's on his out lap 2 right now. I think Thimo's going to stick with it. Oh, Aaron as well. Both are on medium, so we'll see how this goes. Mr. Thimo Brown has not really been practicing too much, I don't think, but he's still shown that he does have a lot of speed in this game at the moment, compared to last game where he was a bit slower. But especially in I know he's been playing. I don't think he practices much, but in Assetto Corsa, he's probably the second best one there.
I was gonna say Thimo is a completely different person on Assetto Corsa. I mean, the only person that can really take it to him is Terra Incognita. That's our other generational talent.
Yeah, of course, Mr. Terra Incognita, who is. If you guys want to tune in to see 2SRL Assetto Corsa, tune in Saturday after the SLR race, because we actually might have the title decided there. So you might want to see Mr. Incognita's victory.
Yeah, that'll be me and Mr. OceanChief commentating on that.
Oh, so then it'll be one interesting stream then. All the more, guys, go check it out. But oh, Thimo hits the wall completely, and I think he's lost front wing from that. I don't know, but he's gonna keep it going. He's most definitely got damage from that. I don't see how he would have avoided it, but
yeah, I think that's just something to point out. Anybody who doesn't know that Mr. Terra Incognita is not just a fantastic commentator, but he's also blisteringly quick.
Oh, blisteringly quick is an understatement.
In iRacing and Assetto Corsa, and even in this, although he's had a bit of bad luck so far.
Yeah, with the game crashing on him.
Terra is pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah, if you guys, I mean, that's one thing I was mentioning. I'm gonna be very blatantly biased towards Terra right now, but one thing I know, one thing is that if you're ever having trouble, learning a game, driving a game or something, Terra's actually given us, pretty much everyone, a lot of really good advice. So, I mean, if you're in the SLR Discord and you're struggling a bit, maybe with another game like iRacing or Assetto Corsa even, the man to talk to is Mr. Terra Incognita. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll cut it there before Thimo gets jealous. But
this is a non-binary. What am I talking about? This is a non-biased broadcast.
Yeah, as Thimo so far, we got 30 seconds left on the clock here, so we're gonna keep an eye out.
I was running on board with Aaron there while you were praising Mr. Terra, and he kind of not so much got held up. Definitely didn't get held up, but I would say it probably took his eye off it. Was Adam was in front of him, and then he ran a bit wide. So we're going to see he's about to cross the line, Adam or Aaron,
and he puts it fast.
7.
Only 7th. So I mean, not the best qualifying for him, but we'll see how Mr. OCR Silver is doing. Currently sitting P2. Adam crosses the line not in time, but he's currently on pole position, which is a very good performance from him because he's been having some struggles in the last few races, but been doing very good in qualifying. So having pole position might be what he needed to get away from that lap 1 carnage, which I think he got caught up in a couple times already. So if he can make the start work, he will be well set. So let's see now. Luke is currently P3, Crimsonium P4. I haven't mentioned him. Bance is also on a lap. He should be going quicker because I think he has.
Silver's also about to cross the line, so he might snatch pole.
Yeah, let's see what he can do.
Yellow in sector 1 and 2.
Okay, so let's see as he crosses the line here. He's going to take the short route to the line. Silver crosses the line, and that's pole position by 6 tenths there over Adam. As Matthias puts it on the front row, so the brothers currently, the Racing Point brothers are on the front row 1 and 2 at the moment. So good time from them as there's a Red Bull spun around. That is Mr. Poosh, 31, I think. Yeah, he's lost his front wing, so he's out of it too. As Bance is coming across now as well, skimming the corner there nearly as he approaches the final braking zone here. And so let's see what he can do. Verk crosses the line, P6, still Crimsonium still coming across. I think he's done. Yeah, he's on his end lap now, so it's down to Bance to see if he can do something right now, as well as Enemy Killer, who's I think about to finish his one too. Actually, yeah, no, he's pitting now, so it's up to Vance now to see if he can dislodge the Force India's racing points. He goes P4 on that lap, so very good for him. He's in a good position. And now I think, yeah, I think that's it. So, or, yeah, I think Crimsonium is pitting right now.
And enemy killers in the pit. So that is the grid. You know, that's actually quite a decent lap from Bance. He's put himself in a great position because, you know, Bance is good at the starts and he's good at the overtakes. If he can get a good launch, I wouldn't be surprised to see him moving up to maybe third or second.
Absolutely, yeah, his starts, I mean, he says his starts are bad in this game. I disagree with that.
His starts in terms of launching off the line last season, he nailed it. He perfected the sweet science of it.
I don't know how he did it, and he never...
Well, he told me, but I couldn't do it, and I knew how to do it.
Another one who gets good starts too is Matthias, and I think Silver as well.
Yeah.
Matthias pretty much both times. I think he's qualified P2 the last 3 races. So I mean, if that's not consistency, then I don't know what is. But he was just behind his teammate and brother on the grid, so that's a very good performance from Racing Point.
Aaron has done a good job, you know, all things considered, in P9 on the mediums, because that makes the one-stop, you know, a credible option.
Oh, it's entirely an option now, because like I said, those medium tires can go about 11 or 12 laps easily, and even further, probably half the race. It's a 26 lap race, and if it can go 12, that's essentially half. So, I mean, the one thing I do notice is similar to last game, though. Now, since we're on the topic of the tire wear, what you call it, the rears actually burn out really easily, but the fronts stay almost pristine throughout. Like the fronts barely wear at all. It's just rear tire degradation here is a serious issue. So it will be interesting to see. We'll probably see, it makes it a lot more dangerous on the throttle because you're going to be losing the rear end a lot more, and that's not something you want to happen here. I guess you could get away with understeer because, I mean, in general, you're running an understeery car, so it would probably be better if the fronts had less grip. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting race to see.
Is it too early to call it, Triton?
I don't think so.
I think it's a hard one to call because, you mean, you got Silver and Aaron, and who else? We got Bance.
Oh, I mean,
Adam.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit
to
too
call
early
the
to
win,
call,
like.
Yeah. I thought you meant for lap 1. I was gonna say, like, yeah, to get the start, I would assume Matthias, since he's been on point, I could see him getting past. But yeah, to call the win, yeah, I don't know.
It's a hard one to call, especially in this track, and with the guys that we have where they are, it's a hard one. I mean, if Silver just takes away off and Matthias can hold up the rest of the grid, then, you know, it's quite possible Silver will take it. But I mean, anything can happen in Baku.
Absolutely. So I'm reading here in the chat now. Finally, we see redemption from Mr. OceanChief. And it says apparently Bance is on the Baku 2017 spec. So we'll just leave it at that. As the almighty Mr. Kitsune is pointing out how it's very cool, and also Mr. OceanChief stating how we have a first, since this is the first time 2 brothers have locked out the front row, and probably the only time 2 brothers will, I mean, unless they do it again, of course.
But does that not count me and Bance when we did it?
Oh yeah, that's true, actually. I mean, you guys are essentially brothers, but closer, but I mean, we're not gonna go there.
Well,
I thought
that's for another time.
I thought we speak after, but
yeah.
No, let's see, but I mean, that's really great to see the 2 brothers lock out the front row. I mean, I wish my brothers played the game. I tried to get
Can I point out, just before they come to the final, that if Matthias is watching this back, then I'm not very happy with him because I messaged him a while back because he is another fantastic guy that plays Farming Simulator. It's a top quality game. And I asked him to play it with me, and he says he would. And as of yet, he still hasn't. So
okay,
I have a bone to pick with Matthias.
So Matthias, we're gonna have to get the black flag out here. I think that's.
You're gonna have to get in that combine harvester, son. Telling me you cut some weight.
Okay.
We're gonna yellow already in the formation lap.
Yeah. I think it's for yeah. What was the yellow there for? I think it's just a glitch.
Not sure.
I don't know. Maybe.
Have you got a good camera, Triton, for this?
I think I do. So Yeah, we're gonna be watching it.
This is gonna get juicy.
Yeah, it is. So buckle in. That's especially for you, Mr. Kitsune. We might get some yeetage in the.
Might get what she wants. Yeah.
Yeah. So can we get a yeet spam in the chat here, and be sure to
Yeet.
smash that like button as well while you're at it, because we might have an interesting one here as the drivers are taking their place. I think Mr. Blindevink is the final one there. So as we prepare here, oh yeah, here we go now. So we're already desynced for Adam here. So 5 lights are on in Baku. Anytime now, and there they go. Here we go in Baku. Good start again from Silver and Matthias. Good start from Adam, keep covering off Vance as Crimsonium sends it down the inside of Vance. He might have actually made contact there. Vance squirming away now as Silver, so far so good, gets away, and Matthias right on his tail as Adam already sort of hits the wall there in the back. I think Thimo already lost places as well, unless that's a decent thing as well, as now wheel to wheel go the two brothers. Silver and Matthias are alongside Matthias on the inside. Silver yields to him and lets him through, sort of, but doesn't fight too hard. And that's Matthias up into the lead so far, and Silver going to be hunting him back down for that P1 as
There
Vance.
was an incident and Vance got caught up in something there.
Yeah,
I missed it.
I think I saw that too. Vance all the way down in P13 now. He might be missing some front wing as Thimo trying to get past him. There's all sorts of carnage here as he runs into the back of enemy killer and gets hit again by Inferno Koi, who loses his front wing. Now there is all sorts of carnage going on in the back here as the two McLarens are side by side here as ooh, Thimo. Oh, Vance just goes right on, and Thimo as well sort of has to avoid him. I think Vance just gave up as there's a complete roadblock here into the hairpin, or into the castle here, as Neth Luke is sideways, and we have a virtual safety car. All sorts of carnage going on in the background.
The first lap.
It's not even lap 1, and we've got half the field pretty much gone out.
Blindervink's car smashed. I think Neth Luke's car was smashed. He got a 5-second penalty. My goodness.
I think Quality get away from it. I think Quality got away. He's just had to hold back there wisely. I think, yeah, Blindervink's front wing's gone. I don't know if Wimpy's front wing's gone either.
Wimpy actually made a fantastic start. I was running on board with him.
Oh, yeah.
And he got up about 5 or 6 positions, and then of course there was a bit of carnage, and then he dropped back again. I think Aaron lost. Then Aaron lost out as well, and then gained it again.
Yeah, so it seems like everyone having some sort of problem. Some people getting away well. Matthias having the best of the luck here as the virtual safety car is over. Here we go again. Now Adam is right on the back of Silver. We have more yellows in Sector 1. Aaron's actually into the pits here. So the favorite for the win, he's actually got a penalty as well, I think. Yeah, so he's got to serve that, and that's really unfortunate for him. As, let's see now, meanwhile...
We've got NJJ going down the side of enemy killer.
Yeah, here he goes.
He's going to win the braking zone.
And very clean move there from NJJ.
Decent,
yeah, on enemy killer. They both give each other enough respect there as... I think... Oh dear, what happened there? I think... No, Adam is just desynced again for me as... yeah, Matthias is making a bit of a climb here as Luke comes into the pits now for repairs. I think safety car would be in Adam's best interest right now. So meanwhile, we'll check the back here. Enemy killer runs a bit wide and nearly hits the wall. I think he avoids it. Riding on board with Thimo here. We have yellows here as
pushes in the castle section.
Oh, and yeah, he's nearly nearly runs into everyone nearly runs into him as Inferno Koi is still driving around, I think, with that broken front wing as well. I saw him nearly, I think, go in to him as well. But yeah, he's understeering really bad through these corners now, and struggling massively as Adam is falling off the back of Silver, who is now trying to catch up as Poosh retires as well now. So we've got two casualties on lap 2 of this race. And now the DRS is going to be kicking in soon. Silver going to be wanting to get that move back on his teammate here as he sets the fastest lap.
Direction for a move on Crimsonium on turn 1. Crimsonium is defending the inside line. Oh, he's really pushing Berg out wide. Berg's going for the cutback.
I think he has a bit of a right to do that. He's missing front wing for Crimsonium. He is still missing a good chunk of his front wing, so he's going to be slow. As Berg is going to be all over the back of him. Going to have DRS now as we're going to check here. Matthias too far back to get, or Silver too far back to get up to Matthias as Verk has a look. Crimsonium defends the inside, doesn't really matter there because he's still ahead as we see Thimo and Well, we see some fights in the back. Inferno Koi, Wimpy, and Blinda Vink. Oh, and Inferno Koi completely runs into the back of him. Wimpy gets past both of them. That is very, very miscalculated from Inferno Koi. You need to watch out on the brakes when you have no front wing, as yeah, that is Blinda Vink's front wing is also gone as well. I can see from earlier, I believe. So a lot of people with damage right now, and not many people want to go into the pits. I understandably so, because they're going to be struggling. As we have more yellows here, as NJJ is slow.
NJJ got it wrong out of the exit of turn 3.
And now Aaron's going to have a look on him into the inside. He gets a little bit squeezed out there as he's behind, but now, yeah, he's going to have to hold station right now. NJJ lagging as well, gets a screen freeze and nearly puts Aaron off. So I don't know what's happening here. We're going to keep back up board here, right on board with Adam, who is... Oh dear, I got to go back on board here with the two brothers now. Silver and Matthias are going to end up side by side eventually here. I think Silver has DRS and is going to be catching up rapidly. So we're going to put the detail on now. So far, Wimpy's made up 9 positions and Thimo's made up 8. So there are current best gainers from this. So we're going to go and ride on board or check the tires, as we got yellows here in sector 1 now. I don't know what that's for, as Wimpy pits now. I think he... Oh dear, Wimpy gets a speeding penalty. I don't know if he has damage. Yeah, he's got damage. He hit the wall somewhere, so all that good work Wimpy did is just undone, unfortunately, as into the pits comes the enemy killer as well for, I think, repairs. And yeah, he's got a front wing ready there, so unfortunate for those two. But meanwhile, Aaron gets past NJJ, so good job to him getting past there on the DRS straight, I believe, on the start-finish straight. So now Thimo has a 9-second gap to GK Project ahead of him, but he is on medium tires, so that gap might come down eventually, as he will start to get the bit of an advantage over him once GK Project's tires wear. So now
Kuari's really closing in on Inferno Koi at the moment, so I think he may be teeing himself up for a move on the main straight.
Yeah, like I said, Inferno Koi is struggling with some understeer from the front wing damage he's got. So gonna be a bit of a struggle here, as now round 2, Silver and Matthias. Silver might actually have a chance here at getting Matthias now on the start-finish straight here with DRS. He's not close enough this time, but he might be close enough on the next one, as he, again, they're both just pumping in fastest laps back to back, as Matthias now holding his own here, getting the better exits, it seems. So yeah, Silver doesn't seem to be close enough on these occasions. Running low ERS as well. I don't think he's fighting too hard. I think they're just pulling each other away from Adam, who is not making up ground on them, as Crimsonium comes into the pits now to fix his front wing as well. Thimo moves up into P4, or P6, I mean. So meanwhile, I'm going to try and take a look here at some of these other guys' front wings. Verk seems to be running no damage, so good on him so far. And Aaron puts in the fastest lap on hard tires. And he is far behind anyone for a slipstream, so that is a very good lap for him, as tries to catch up to Crimsonium, who has just exited the pits and is on the hard tires as well.
Ooh, Kuwari got the braking zone wrong and he had to use the escape road. Inferno Koi just slips past.
Oh dear, so luckily no damage there, hopefully, but Kwathi needs to take it a bit easier. I think he's in a good position. He's P3 or P10 right now, and this would, I believe, be points for him. I don't know if he scored points last season, but he could do with some with a good result, I think, because I think he's had some pretty bad luck as of recently, so it would be good.
Oh,
somebody's
Inferno
off here in the
Koi,
castle. Who's
Crimsonium.
off? That's Inferno Koi again, and he's hit Crimsonium too. So Crimsonium, I don't know what happened there. Crimsonium, is he missing more front wing? I don't know. I didn't see.
Inferno Boy needs to get this car moved, or he's going to get a black flagged. He's
Yeah.
doing a bit of reversing on.
He's waiting, I think. Yeah, Inferno Koi, I think, yeah, whatever happened there, Crimsonium is missing front wing now. So, again, he just got it changed, and now that's damaged. So that is very, very unfortunate, and probably really frustrating for him, as now Silver pits and so does Burke. So Silver trying to undercut his teammate, as Thimo moves past, I think he's gonna move past one of them. Yeah. He moves
Yeah,
past
Aaron's
Rourke.
gonna pass Kawadi here. Should be straightforward enough pass. Because I think Kawadi's got front wing damage.
I'm not sure. I think he might have a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him, as now he's going to try and get back into that slipstream there as, yeah, Aaron makes pretty easy work of that. Very good job. Showing he does have some pace after getting that front wing change, which has pretty much hampered his race a lot, but hopefully he is able to recover, because he was one of the favorites, as I said in the beginning of the broadcast. So meanwhile,
Yeah, Kawadi's struggling to make it in, around the corners. I'm pretty sure he's got some form of front wing damage. Although he made it that one okay, no problem.
yeah, I think he might. I don't see anything visually, but there might be just some that I can't see. So I am not too certain. But meanwhile, Matthias is coming across the third sector here, towards the end of the third sector. I
Oh.
think he's gonna be. I would think he's gonna be pitting now, as yeah, wheel to wheel go enemy killer and Nethluke. Nethluke gets past him. Hopefully that was. I didn't see much of that battle. Unfortunately, only caught the end. So good to see that these guys still have some fight in them after a lot of them getting caught in the carnage of the castle section. So now, meanwhile, these two are still on the back of each other. Thimo's starting to lose some ground here, I think, to Silver, who's on the fresh cards. GK Project now pits, and I think, yeah, I think Matthias is staying out one more lap. Those tires must still feel good for him, so interesting to see how these strategies will work. I think he has.
Oh no! Enemy killer completely misjudged his braking zone there, and he just went straight into the wall.
Oh dear. Yeah, and that's half his front wing gone there, I can see. So most definitely a front wing change for him after he just came in a little bit ago. So unfortunate.
7 laps into the race, man, and Thimo is up 11 places.
That's true. Yeah. Some of the people have pit in front of him.
Oh, have they pitted in between?
Yeah, but still, I
Oh,
mean,
sorry.
he's still driving very consistently. So this might be up for grabs for him if some of these guys start making more mistakes, and he will be on the pressure tires towards the end. So it is all up to play for Thimo. So still 21 seconds off the leader though. So Matthias has a massive gap right now, of course. So yeah, 12 seconds between Silver and Adam still has to pit. So we'll see. Ooh, Silver hits the wall a bit. I think he got away with it. Yeah, he seems to have gotten away with it, hopefully. But not exactly the thing you want to be doing here in Baku, as I mentioned. If you let go of your focus or misjudge one tiny braking zone or whatnot, you're gonna get some damage, as shown today by pretty much everyone. So
Aaron's showing fantastic pace at the moment. He's on 5 lap old hards, and Crimsonium's only on 2 laps, and Aaron is catching him as if Crimsonium had like 20 lap softs on.
yeah, meanwhile, sorry to interrupt you there, Silver does end up getting the undercut on his teammate by quite a margin there. Matthias comes out 1.6 behind him, so now he's gonna have to make some work up here to get that P1 back. So good job to Silver so far. On track is at the moment P1. So I mean, if I were them, would I focus hard on fighting? Because I don't know how quick Adam can catch them, as Adam actually loses a position to Verk. So actually, it's up. Verk gets the undercut on Adam as well, and is closing in on Thimo, who has not pit yet. So Thimo's going to be running into a couple of these guys soon, and Aaron might end up catching up to him, but he will be a pit stop behind, because I'm fairly certain Aaron's not going to get those tires to the end. So this is looking all but over for these guys, depending on how much Silver can get this gap and if he can hold it over his teammate, and they can just drag each other along. So
The problem is in the middle is sort of, we're not approaching the middle of the race just yet, but lap 8 into it at the moment, and the pit stops have been happening. Kind of the gaps are kind of stretched out a little bit. So at the moment, we don't really have much on track action, but whenever all the pits happen and we get closer to the end of the race, we'll start to see a bit of action. Them cars start bunching up, but also it is, like I said, it is Baku, so a safety car is always around the corner.
Absolutely, and right now, I mean, Timo's going to be in trouble here right now with Verk, who is completely flying past him with that DRS on the start-finish straight there. Timo just kind of just hands that position because wisely, too, there's almost nothing he can do to fight that back. So, let's see what he can do. Timo might actually be able to have another say here. He has DRS, but yeah, he's not even turning up his battery right now. Wisely, too, as Qualthy and Inferno Koi. Something's happened there. Qualthy's hit the wall at the castle, yeah, and yeah, that is very unfortunate for him. He was driving fairly consistent up until that point. So that's effectively his race over, as Thimo does not get past Burke. So Inferno Koi really having a very eventful race. Yeah, Qualthy hits the wall there and understeers into it. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but yeah, that's it for him, unfortunately. So let's see what can happen here, as now Enemy Killer and Inferno Koi goes side by side into the S's. But Enemy Killer, that might not have been the best move, because now yeah, oh no, he's pitting anyways, Inferno Koi, because he's got damage. So he kind of just, yeah, I think it's because he had a front wing, or his front wing is gone. So very unfortunate for Inferno Koi. So meanwhile, Thimo is actually staying in the slipstream of Verk, despite being on the softer but older tires. So let's see what's happening here. Meanwhile, NJJ gets a corner cut or extension penalty for, I think that's the first one of this session. So bit unfortunate. Matthias is slowly but surely also catching up to Silver. Sorry, I'm losing my words here. As the blue flags were there for him for a minute. Alright, Adam is also kind of keeping behind a bit, but he's still in a very good position to get some good points for Red Bull. Jeremy is not here today because it is, for those of you who don't know, it is actually, I believe there's a heat wave in Europe right now, a pretty hefty heat wave. So to the drivers who are racing, hopefully everything is okay, and to everyone who is affected by it, hopefully you guys stay hydrated and keep cool. And hopefully some of you guys have some air conditioning that you can use as well.
You see, that's why you should just come to Ireland, because Ireland is brilliant at the moment.
Advertisement for Mr. Tipsy. That is a very great way to do it, actually. Yeah, I would advise staying away from California, though. I mean, here it is about 100-something degrees and very humid for some reason, so not very pleasant.
Yeah, but the lightning storms you guys get are awesome.
Awesome until you get hit by it, if you have my luck.
Just don't get hit by it.
I don't know. I'm not. Okay, I'll stop there. But
I'm one of those people that if there's lightning, I run outside.
So actually next week, I'm actually not going to be here to commentate next week because for the stream, I think I've told you, but I'm heading to Las Vegas for my vacation, just for a weekend, and there it's going to be like 120 or 110 degrees. Nope. So yeah, the drive
I would
there,
be hiding under a rock somewhere.
Yeah, when we drive there, the way we do it is because part of the drive is uphill, because we end up going up through some of the mountains, and it's really hot. So when we go through there, we have to turn off the car's air conditioning, and the car heats up like in 2 seconds. It's boiling in there, so we just carry like wet rags and ice bags and whatnot, and just, oh dear, we got some action going on here as GK Project and Crimsonium are going wheel to wheel now into turn 3, and GK Project has to yield that Crimsonium up the inside there. Very nicely done by those two, putting on a show here for us.
Yeah, there was a bit of touch in the corner before. I think Crimsonium kind of basically did what Kimi Räikkönen did a few seasons ago, went up the inside, but kind of pushed GK Projects off towards the wall. But I mean, they kept it all together.
As yeah, Blinda Vink is now in the DRS of Wimpy, who is sitting in a comfortable P9. He might be able to take these to the end, actually, Wimpy, on 7 laps, I think. So he put them on lap 4 or 5, but if he does enough tire management as, oh dear, there's some contact there, Blendevink hitting the back of Wimpy, not very polite. Inferno Koi, meanwhile, has retired, so he's gone off somewhere as well. Yeah, Blendevink is way too close to Wimpy. I think he needs to give a little bit more space than that. Wimpy's kind of just taking it easy, as they're feeding it through the castle section now. And I think Blendevink might have some wing damage. Yeah, he has wing. No, I don't think he has wing damage anymore. But Wimpy keeping it smooth here through these corners, making sure he doesn't hit any of the walls here. So doing a decent job of that. But now Blendevink is probably gonna have a very good run on him, as Thimo now finally pits. So we'll see where he comes out, and he's gonna be on the freshest of the tires out of everyone. So he's probably in a good position to get his foot down and make up some positions here as he comes out P8, I think he's going to be. Yeah, he's going to be P8 now as Blendevink running low on ERS though. I think he might be out of it, but it's still going to try and have a look at Wimpy, who's defending the inside. Now goes back to the outside.
Oh, Wimpy pulls over too soon, I think.
No, it was well enough, I think. Yeah, he went back because I think he realized, oh, they're both off! Okay, so that's wing damage definitely for both of them, and Netlu gets past them both as Wimpy has a look at him. What are they doing? Oh, and Blendevink hits him, and then now Blendevink is around. I think Kitsune wished too soon for some yeeting, because I think that was a bit too much for us to handle. Yeah, now his wing is gone because he hits the wall again to get it turned around, and Blendevink's race is kind of over there. I don't know what to say about that.
We just move on.
Yeah, we'll speak about that after Blendevink retires. We got another virtual safety car. So dear. a lot of carnage going on here. I don't think Blendevink is too happy about that either. Meanwhile, it's getting a bit cloudy, so the track temperature might drop a bit, so the tire wear will change a bit. As let's see what we got. So far, we've only got 12 drivers remaining, so.
My goodness, it goes to show you just the extent of the ruthlessness of Baku.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unforgiving now. It's and here we go again. DRS enabled. Matthias 1.2 behind his teammate. They both have a very safe gap, I think, to Berg. So I think we can. I think I can put in a call to the Racing Point boss to let them fight a bit. I think so. So yeah, meanwhile, GK Project and Crimsonian going at it again there. Crimsonian gets past. I think he might have run wide though. GK Project will have another run at him. As he goes in the back of him and spins him into the. Oh, okay.
Oh, come on.
Thimo is now right behind them both. So, I mean, Timo's most likely not going to want to get caught up in anything crazy here, but he might have a run on GK Project. On fresher tires. Yeah, he brakes early to make sure nothing happens here. So, Thimo might be looking at P6 here. And possibly P5 because Aaron has to pit as well, so would be a good result since Vance.
I don't know. I'll just say. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, well, what I will say is, on Baku, you don't need to risk yourself and other people's races by trying to dive it down the inside. I know that's not what he done effectively, but you don't need to take the risk on a 90-degree bend to the left whenever there's a long DRS zone coming up straight after it. Just be patient and wait for the DRS.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Like I think I mean now Crimsonian's getting away now from GK Project because I think GK Project might have damaged his wing, so Timo's gonna have to get past him right now if he wants to make anything happen here. As he takes it very easy through that. Now, actually, I think he's got a good idea. He's got a full battery, so he can just chuck it into overtake right now and get this move done. Because the slipstream here, in this game, slipstream is not as powerful as last game, where you pretty much drag somebody along the whole lap, as Aaron puts another fastest lap on 12 lap old hard tires. So Aaron showing that he does have pace. So Timo's got to shift up now. Yeah, he's going to be losing some engine temps, or gaining some engine temp there now. In the DRS there, showing how much speed he's gaining now. But not gaining enough at the moment, of course. He's gonna have to try and get it down here on this next straight here. Not play it. He's gonna have to be a little bit more aggressive than this on the brakes, but actually there is good enough. So now there's some front wing from Blendevink's car. So there might have been actually from Crimsonian, but I'm not sure. Actually no. Yeah, Triton is missing some front wing, so he's gonna be slow as well. Thimo seems to be in a pretty decent position here, as Matthias is starting to fall back off the rear of Silver. So he's gonna be struggling a little bit. As now Wimpy is pretty far behind these three, but if there's any more contact and any more carnage, then yeah, we're gonna
Well, I
be.
think if you're gonna get any kind of action, you're gonna get it between P7 and P9 at the moment.
Oh yeah.
No, P7. Where are we talking? No, from P6 to P. Where's Wemby? Yeah, from P6 to P8. Crimsonium to Timo. These three guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Crimsonium and GK projects have been like slugging it out like two boxers for
Oh
this
yeah.
the first half of this race. So, I mean, this is only going to get more tasty. And I mean, just to pick up on what I was saying, I mean, I think everyone wants to see a bit of action, and even in the real Formula One, you want to see like Max Verstappen and Leclerc really like fighting it out. But so you want to let a little bit of danger, a little bit of risk. You want to see a bit of that argy bargy, but you don't want to see people doing things that's going to wreck each other's races.
Yeah, I agree. So right now they're pretty much locked in this DRS train here. GK Project getting some off of Crimsonium, very close to him now. So we might actually get an insane battle here right now. So keep your eyes peeled right now. Kitsune, if you want some yeeting, you might want to watch. I see you're getting a bit too excited in the chat.
Yeah.
So I'll let you deal with Mr. Kitsune. But anyways, I think the yeeting has been enough for my heart to handle. But I mean,
Ooh,
oh, he's gone into the wall. GK Project, yeah. So
yeah, he
Timo
caught
gets
it
past
too
him
tight.
now, yeah. So Timo is going to be the one to have to put the fight on to Crimsonium, as Aaron has gone to the pits while I wasn't looking, and he's 6.8 behind on brand new medium tires. So this is all to play for, as Nestle puts in the fastest lap. So
See, this is a kind of Timo's displaying the kind of thing what I'm saying, just consistently, patiently going around lap after lap, not trying anything drastic, and you just got a free place there. Like tracks like Baku and Monaco, you have to be really patient and really disciplined if you are going to do a move. Although you can't overtake on Monaco anyway, but you can. But like Baku, if you get it wrong, it'll rip your head off, or in this case, rip your tire off
and your front wing, but
and your front wing, and then you'll just leave in a rage.
I'm not gonna mention any names. That fence, anyways.
Well, I
To be
mean,
honest.
I can't blame Bance. I mean, I was running on board with some of the people. He did get yeeted quite a bit, like a couple of corners come to concession. So, I mean,
Yeah, we
I
might have
can't
another
blame
one
him.
here, though. Timo now has DRS on Crimsonium, is gaining very quickly. Not going to be able to gain enough, I think, here. Crimsonium goes to the inside, comes back, because there's not really a necessity to do that. We've got, back to the tires. Timo's gaining.
NJJ is off.
Oh, dear.
Just got it going again.
So yeah, Timo now is in a good position here. He's got DRS again on the second straight here. Is he going to be close enough here up into the braking zone here? Crimsonium covering it, he's moving a little bit too much, but I think he has enough right to do that because Timo is too far behind. But I mean, you never know if Timo wants to send it on the brakes to gain some time. That's something that happened to me once in an AOR race from the NA split, because I was actually trying to go alongside a guy, not necessarily overtake him, but go alongside him into a corner, but he just moved across me and took me out essentially because of that. Which yeah,
It's not that. Okay, so I've raced for a lot of races, with Timo over all the seasons, and it's not really his style, but from what I've seen anyway, to try and send it on the brakes. Occasionally he will, but that's not really his style. So
yeah.
I don't really see him diving the Crimsonium unless he has no choice.
Yeah, I wouldn't say dive him like that. I think yeah, Timo definitely is a lot more concerned. Like, I mean, I wouldn't dive bomb somebody. Like, the only times I do it is by accident. Like, and yeah, unfortunately, that seems to be the only time anything is caught on stream of mine. So terror. Yeah. Anyways, no, but seriously, like I'll go late on the brakes to get alongside somebody, maybe put them off, because that's usually my strategy. As now I think Timo's close enough here to get this move done here. Zonium is going to go to the inside. Yeah, he's going to be there. And now moves across a bit to try and reclaim the racing line here. Thimo goes very wide and overshoots it a bit, but he's gonna have to go again for that, as Aaron is caught up to them already, I should mention. So this is all game on right now. So let's see if Thimo can do it. We'll see if Aaron can do it here. I think Thimo's a bit too far back. Not sure here. Yeah, he is too far back. Aaron too far back as well. We got a 4-car train now here behind Crimsonium for P5. So I don't think any of them are catching Adam, but you can see Aaron is obviously much quicker. Is he going to send it down the inside there into the S's? No, he's not, very wisely.
I think that was more of a dummy.
Oh, but yeah, he's got a much better run here off of GK Project. He's going to be up ahead into the entry of the castle section. Yeah, GK Project yields very wisely. So good racing from both of them now. As he overshoots it nearly. Luckily, Aaron has more car control than I think he does.
Yeah, I think Thimo is really starting to turn the wick up on Crimsonium, and he's trying to sell him the dummy a few times like Aaron did.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
Thimo might go for a move here.
Oh, he is way too quick on him. Yeah, is he gonna go for it? Yeah, that is not wise at all. Oh, I thought he lost the rear there.
But he hits the wall.
Oh yeah,
shows you that Crimsonium is succumbing to this pressure.
This is not wise, I don't think, to get the overtake
done
he's
gonna
here.
Force him out wide.
Yeah, we're gonna get 3 wide here, I think. Aaron and even GK Project. No, GK Project falling off the back here. Aaron and Thimo trying to get past here. Oh, Timo's got to yield. They might end up making contact. No, they don't. Okay, so we have got a proper fight here right now. Aaron is right on the back of Thimo, though. And Crimsonium is going to have to defend from both of them. So now we've got the DRS here. Crimsonium is going to help Thimo a bit defend from Aaron. As now they both are going to get past. Are we going to get too wide? Yeah, Thimo overshoots it a bit, I think. Yeah, now Aaron gets past both of them. Thimo goes wide, and yeah, he again overshoots it. I think he's struggling on the brakes there. And now Aaron is going to make his way past Crimsonium, I think. So now Thimo is going to have to... Yeah, there goes Aaron, I think. As... Oh, they make contact there a bit. Timo's going to have to try and catch up right now when he can and do his best. Yeah, now he's going to back out, though. And right now, GK Project catches back up to this train. And we are getting some proper racing here at the moment. So I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, Crimsonium seem to be drifty. Kind of... running on board with a few guys when they're fighting him. He seems to kind of drift towards the car that's passing him, and I mean, I know sometimes I would do that. That's more of a just to squeeze the room that they have. You know, you're not blocking them, but you're just restricting their racing line, which forces them to compromise their racing line. It's a legitimate technique, but he was drifting a bit towards Aaron there unnecessarily, and they made a bit of contact. You need to watch that.
Yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, like you have to kind of like, I think you were mentioning it earlier with Crimsonium, like there's no need to like, or you were mentioning it in general, just there's no need to risk anything. I think with this track, especially considering how unforgiving it is. But round whatever, I think it's round 4 right now of this with Thimo and Crimsonium. But I mean, regardless, I gotta hats off to Thimo so far. He's driven absolutely fantastically. So
he should get him now, though. I would expect to get him now.
Yeah, he is well close enough here, so yeah, I don't think Crimsonium is going to be able to do much here. Yeah, here he goes.
I see Crimsonium's going to drift over to him now. See, look.
On the end, he's reclaiming the race line. He has a look as Thimo gets it done this time now. As okay, somebody's come out of the pits there who's got to move, as I misjudged something.
Crimsonium hits Thimo and pushes him into the wall.
Oh, that is not very nice. Okay, yeah, I saw that.
That's what he done to GK Project. I have them both on camera.
Oh dear. Okay, so yeah, like we said, you gotta be really
you don't go for it. But I don't think GK Project's gonna be much forgiving anymore, because they have a little bit of history from memory, a few races back.
Oh yeah, I think so. Was it Australia or Bahrain that it?
I think it might have been Bahrain.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I remember something happening, but yeah, now Timo's trying to have a look here. I think Timo's just gonna send it here on GK Project. Now this is he's not gonna be able to do anything there. He might have gotten a corner cut warning for that, but yeah.
So the team, the red mist of the drivers of Thimo will be. Oh, GK Project nearly loses it there. Thimo will be pretty much. Oh, he runs into the back of GK Project. I was just gonna say, Thimo will be getting pretty peed off, I would say, after that move from Crimsonium.
I would be too, to be honest. That's I mean, I shouldn't say it as a commentator, but that's not very nice.
No, but we can call what we see, and that's the second time I have seen it on my screen. the Crimsonium does that down the inside, and he hits the rear of the car that he's trying to pass, and it forces them into the wall. I mean, whether if you do it once, you can say fair enough, they got it wrong, but to do it twice, it kind of sounds like it's been calculated.
So yeah, I
But
mean,
the team was
especially
going to run on GTA projects here.
yeah, this should be it now. They're both gaining massively on Crimsonium as well here. Of course, in the slipstream, Thimo overshoots it again. No, he doesn't. He gets to slow down though. But he's not able to get that done. But he should be able to go now here.
Get him in the DRS this point.
Yeah, if he can get the exit here. Yeah, okay, but Crimsonium as well has
The
DRS.
projects got the DRS and Crimsonium, so that can negate.
Thimo's wise to they should be wise to save his battery here a bit.
At this point, it should be switching the battery down to 0 to none and just use the slipstream.
So meanwhile, Aaron in the clear air has pretty much just ran away from these guys. So it's looking.
GK Projects gets it wrong and he goes really wide. It's going to give Thimo up the inside line and get the move done. Perfect. So that means that should tee up Thimo. He's got almost a second already. That mistake, GK Project has cost him almost a second.
Yeah,
that'll then tee Thimo up to get a bit of, not so much revenge, because we're not about revenge, but to try and get a bit of justice done here to get this move done on Crimsonium.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Crimsonium is on 15 lap old cards, so there's only so much he can fight. In fact, Crimsonium fighting this, he's just putting his own race at risk in terms of cooking the tires. Because I've done a long stint in the hards, and around about lap 19, 18, he's going to start feeling it. So he really needs to look after these tires. It'd be far better just let Thimo go and try and just collect whatever points he can.
I noticed Thimo's sticking through 6th gear through there and over revving that engine. He might be suffering from some engine temperatures as a result, but seems that the McLaren.
What I would do here, Thimo's going for the inside.
He's going for a gap that's not there, and there he goes now. Sorry to interrupt you, Tipsy. Now he gets, and they wheel bang a bit, and they're hitting again, and into the wall. Oh my!
Come on, let's.
That one I'm not sure about. That one I am not sure about. I think Thimo seemed to be moving a bit in frustration. And then Crimsonium also not really giving him space. So
no, from what I seen from my screen, of course, it's just initial what we've just seen. But Thimo was basically selling him the dummy there, making it look like that I'm going to go down your inside, forcing Crimsonium to really hug the wall, and then the last minute pull over and get the racing line. It seemed like, from what I seen, Crimsonium then must have realised what Thimo was doing and tried to compensate that by moving across and mid contact.
That is, this is not how we want to see the racing go. I mean, we're all for yeetage, as Kitsune says, but not when it ends like this.
Look, there's a see that kind of what I'm telling you about whenever you're passing Crimsonium and he kind of drifts across you and kind of tries to squeeze your racing line. Again, it's a legitimate move. It's something I do as well, but although I do it, I also know how to defend against it. If you know that there's a guy that's doing that, whenever you're going to pass him, you don't give him lots of room. You pass right beside him and give him no space to close you. That way you can actually do the double on him and you can force him to make the, to break early. So it's kind of like a almost like, do the reverse psychology in someone.
Yeah, I'm trying to check Thimo's front wing here. I don't know how much damage he has, but it seems like quite a bit. But it seems like only some of the end plate's gone on the right side. So hopefully he doesn't have to pit, because he's still in a good position. I think, he's staying out, I think. He's still within them, so there's always a matter of penalties and whatnot. So meanwhile, GK Project might actually slow them down, because again, Crimsonium does have front wing damage himself. So, he has to get it slowed down there very hard.
Look, whether these are just, maybe we're getting a stream bug or a spectator glitch, we're not really seeing it accurately. So in some respects, it's maybe unfair for us calling what we think we see. We just have to call what we see. But if it is happening what we think that it's happening, or what I think is happening, Crimsonium is really not making any friends on this, especially in this race. And what goes around comes around, and what you could probably see is whenever there's a position when someone's going to try and pass him, like GK Projects, if he tees up a move, he maybe won't be so forgiving, and he maybe might not, I would expect, not to give him so much space.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Now, meanwhile, back up front, because I haven't given these guys much airtime, Adam is slowly but surely catching Berg. The gap is 1.9. He is on 2 lap younger tires, So Burke's tires are looking not too badly worn. You can't really see, I don't think, on the stream, but they aren't looking new. Let's just put it at that. So meanwhile, the gap 2 seconds. Adam driving a fantastic race so far. He has really upped his game from the previous races. Got unlucky in Australia, if I recall. He got taken out lap 1, and then the previous 2 races he had some issues, and now he's shown that he has put in the time and put in the hours and is really improving. So shout outs to Adam so far.
Hello, here's Jeff, Thimo's race engineer. I've come in for a quick report. I've reviewed the incident. It would appear that one driver has tried to squeeze the other, but the other driver didn't move because of the squeeze, and then they made contact and
Sorry,
couldn't
Mr.
brake
Vance,
for
what are
the
you
zone.
talking about? Are you talking about Thimo's incident?
Yes.
So you're pretty much calling it as I seen it.
Yeah, I wasn't listening because I was just.
Excuse me?
I was rewinding the entire time to have a look.
Vance, let's okay. The whole world is listening. Well, maybe not the whole world, like, but the whole world is listening. Okay, let's get one thing straight. Anytime I speak, you listen.
That's really odd.
Okay. I mean, why would you not want to listen to me, Vance?
Okay, but while that's
we have
going
to
on,
keep the sexual tension off our.
Yeah, we gotta
We'll
keep it
talk
off the
about
stream.
that
Yeah,
in the
we speak about that after. So, trying to keep an eye out here on GK Project and Crimsonium. He's starting to fall off the back of him. But what is your take on that incident with Crimsonium? I must ask.
Mr. Vance?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, he did a typical squeezing move where you just try to edge him out to the outside so they get a worse run through the corner.
Yeah.
But Thimo didn't move, which I'm also very proud of him of, by the way. Very epic. But Crimsonium, for some reason, didn't notice that Thimo didn't move. So he just went straight into him. And then after that, he couldn't really fix the error because they got to the braking zone where both of them were unsettled. So Crimsonium couldn't brake properly as Thimo was on the outside. So they basically just pushed each other out.
As dear, they're going wheel to wheel now. Crimsonium and GK
zone.
Project. Yeah, that is.
Have you seen that? The Crimsonium's moving across in the braking zone. You can't do. So
oh, he's gonna go into the wall there. Yeah, GK Project.
See, this is what's happening. He's starting to get angry with this type of driving style. But so Bance, what was I going to say? What I was saying was, see this idea of when someone is passing you, Crimsonium kind of moves across track a little bit, which again I said not to repeat myself, but it is a legitimate thing to do. You can restrict how much space that driver has for the racing line to make forces him to compromise his racing line.
Absolutely.
Right? And it is a legitimate move, done it myself. But there's also a way to defend against it. And it is that whenever you go for your pass, don't leave such a big gap between the car you're passing. Drive right beside him and give him no room. Which is, as you're saying, that's what Thimo did. Thimo has learned from that a couple of moves, and he didn't give him, he didn't pass him like a mile beside of him. Crimsonium obviously didn't expect him to do the switchback and has moved across to try and cover that and didn't realize Thimo was so close, and then they made contact. But what I would say further on to that is, once you've done that incident to someone, I'm very much big on, sportsmanship. It's a lot of things I've said in Discord, on the chat and everything, that if you've done that move, that incident, you've forced that, that crash onto someone, the sportsman thing to do is give that position, wait on that guy. Now, I don't know, maybe people would go against me, but I think, there has to be a bit of decency on track as well. If you've done something to compromise someone's race, well, do the gentlemanly thing and give it back, give that place back.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's that's one you can kind of argue. As a driver, would you get penalized for it anyway or not? So do you bother giving it back? So I can understand, even though I don't think it's the right thing to do, why you would continue. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just important to judge the incident for what it is and not, how he should have reacted to it afterwards. Yeah. Because the idea is just that, I assume he just really miscalculated how that would go. I hope that's really it. I can't really imagine what else it would be.
Meanwhile, sorry to interrupt here, but now I think Adam might actually be close enough for that final podium position
Yeah, he
to
is.
get DRS. And as we approach the final lap, this is do or die for him. So let's see what he can do. Burke is gonna have to turn that battery up. Adam does not have much to work with, and
Doesn't
he's
have much battery at all.
starting to lag a bit, I think. So meanwhile, Thimo has fallen far off of Crimsonium at the moment, and GK Project as well. I mean, that's. I shouldn't say. I can't say this stuff, but that is very questionable driving. Like we were just discussing. I shouldn't say it on the stream, but I'm gonna say it because I'm risking it.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna say it, but the issue, like you were saying, is that if it all depends. If you move in the braking zone like that, it depends on the other driver as well. As NJJ gets a speeding penalty, Aaron actually.
Can I just point out on the last lap, you should probably commentate on the race and not a penalty.
Yeah, but I don't know. But this might actually be across the line. This might actually be. Oh, Adam overshoots
Adam
a bit.
goes really wide.
And he's gonna have to climb that. Yeah, he might have just blown his chance at that
That's
podium.
blown it. That's game over for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's only got 8% battery. I mean, are these guys not storing, charging their battery?
I don't know why. If I were him, I'd just turn it down to 0 through that entire
you don't
second
need it
sector.
for sector 2, you don't need your battery.
Until the end, once you get past Castle, you can turn it up to 2,
Yeah.
and then further straight. But meanwhile, this man here, who I'm riding on board with, has pretty much dominated this race along with his brother. They both had a really great battle. Really showed some class today, and are gonna claim, I believe, not the first actually. It is not the first, but the second 1-2 in Tier 2 as Silver crosses the line to win, and Mr. Matthias weaves across in victory alongside him, and that is massively amazing. That is some great points for Racing Point. As Adam is unfortunately not going to catch Verk, who drove very consistently and is going to claim that P3 as well. So good job to Verk, and great job to Adam for driving very consistently. Aaron, I think, is trying to get this fastest lap right now, so let's see if he can get it. I think GK Project is slowing as well. Let's see what can happen here, because I think at the moment fastest lap is NJJ's, who is not even in the points. So let's see what happens here. Is he gonna cross the line? How is he gonna get it? And that is it. Okay, so fastest lap for Aaron, so that's an extra point there for him. So good job
when
to
you
Aaron.
think about it, he also did 3 stops.
Yeah,
and
great
made
recovery.
It up to 5th.
Great recovery from Aaron, and let's see what happens here. Meanwhile, Thimo making his way towards the end here as well. Really disappointing. I think he could have easily had P6 in the bag. But Crimsonium put up a fight, and I think it might have actually, despite everything, I think it would have been a close fight to the end had there not been any contact with any of them. Because GK Project really was keeping his own there until he hit the wall that last time. So another shout out here to Mr. Wimpy, who claims, is he gonna? Yeah, he keeps it, because Nethluke was a lap down, so he's the last to cross the line besides Enemy Killer. And JJ just retired, I think, at the end, but I don't think it matters because he was P10 or P12.
Hello.
So yeah,
No, Mr. Thimo.
that is it. I think, I was gonna ask for Mr. Thimo for an interview. But yeah.
Actually. Okay.
Okay,
Go
yeah. Sorry, I'll get a finish here. Congrats again to the Racing Point for a fantastic 1-2 finish, and Verk for finishing out the podium. So I'm sure these two can drink up some champagne together. But yeah.
I don't think they can because they're not old enough.
Yeah, I believe they're underage. But yeah, so we're gonna move on here to the interview page here that I finally have set up. So meanwhile, while I get this sorted out, if you guys enjoyed that very eventful race, be sure to leave a like, and be sure to subscribe to the EGL channel. Yeah. Let's see if I can get in here. So I think we can get Adam Silver, Matthias. We'll get a few interviews to make up for last time because I didn't get many in. So anyways, also I want I'm gonna get this sorted out. So we'll start with Thimo now. So, Mr. Brown, unfortunate for what happened there. What's your take on it?
Well, on the whole race or on just what happened in the end with
I want to know.
there?
Yeah, I want to know what your take is on that because we're not too pleased with it with how it went down. We were really disappointed.
Okay. I, I was disappointed when it happened as well because you know, I was there behind Crimsonium and GK Project all the time, and I saw them making mistakes, and I thought I might get through and might pick up P6, which would have been very good for me at Baku because I am very bad at Baku, and but you know, on the first lap already, I thought if what they just did to Bans is legal, then this is going to be a dirty race, and I was right because because I was fighting with him there, and I think I was trying to be nice all the time, and Bans was talking to me, and he was being like, "You have to be decisive. You have to make a move. You have to stick it in there." And I was like, "No, I'm going to be a nice guy." And then I had two incidents with Crimsonium. I think for the first one, I might have closed the door too early or something. I don't really know. I'll have to look at the footage again. But it made me lose two positions, and I was not very happy at all with it. And then in the end, when I finally thought I had pulled off the move, he just drives into me like a madman. I don't know what happened there. And now you know, I've tried to be nice all the time, and Benz has told me I shouldn't, and I should try to pull off great moves and stuff. And I was like, no. But now it is on. From now on, I'm going to be mean. Now I'm going to be decisive. I will not run people off on purpose, but now I will try to give them something of their own medicine.
That's my boy.
While staying in the rules, of course.
Okay.
Well, you see, Thimo, I was saying, Thimo, on the stream that because I've raced you a lot, you know, since season 1 to SRL, and it's not really your kind of style to kind of dive down someone. You're kind of more clinical in terms of you try to get them on the straight, which is a fair way of doing it. But sometimes you will have to just get the elbows out and just send it in and do not give in.
Yep.
Of course, you can do it cleanly. You know, you can do it cleanly, but because if you just
I can't, like we saw. Now I'm going to
but
now I'm going to turn into a Benz.
Okay,
yeah, but
well then.
well, like it's just okay.
Okay, so with that said,
hard to make him dummy, so hard.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for that, Timo. Actually, like I know that's actually interesting to hear. But now we're gonna move on to our race winner, the man of the moment, Mr. Silver. How was that for you?
What a babe.
Yeah, for me there was yeah, it was pretty clean. Me and Matthias were on 1 and 2, so we just drove the race and didn't really have a lot of people behind us who were pushing. Diranov was following for a while, but after a pit stop we didn't saw him anymore, so we just keep going. And yeah, it was pretty boring to be honest. Just racing alone, but yeah.
Hold on a minute. No sound.
You're sounding like Mercedes, Silver.
Is there no sound on the stream? Okay.
There is no sound. There is no sound.
I hear it now. Okay, so my whole interview with Timo just was for nothing, I believe.
Okay. You're gonna have to step up this, Triton.
I don't know how that happened.
Replace commentators.
Cause okay, so I when I set up the driver interview page, it doesn't record audio for some reason. So
because they don't have the audio thing set up as well.
I don't know. So I just turned on the game capture. Yeah, I turned the game capture off, unfortunately. Okay, so sorry about that. So the first interview, I'll sum up Timo's interview for him. Timo is essentially he gave a good explanation as to why he should be a bit more aggressive now in his driving style and just kind of send it here and there, not just be like too concerned about just driving very like calmly and staking back when he doesn't have to. But Silver, I think we caught Silver there, but if you want to repeat yourself, you may as well.
Yeah, so yeah, it was really boring to be honest. We didn't really saw a lot of people. Some blue flag runners, but it was pretty clean.
Oh, okay. So actually, sorry again, but yeah, they heard Timo. But yeah, I did notice, you guys made a really big gap, like off the bat. Do you think that was down? I want to know, do you think that was like down to slipstream, or was it down to what is it?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. Me and Matthias were just driving. Adironov was following for a while, but after the pit stop, he wasn't really following that anymore. He was behind Thimo, I think. So we just kept driving, and yeah, after a while, we had 10 seconds behind us.
okay.
I think the slipstream was maybe a part of it. But Matthias was within the 3 seconds most of the time, so he really had that slipstream. But I don't think it was that much of it.
Okay. So Matthias, like moving on to you then. Congrats again, Silver, and congrats to you as well, Matthias. That is a 1-2 for you both. How do you feel? Do you feel like you could have fought more for the win, or are you happy with that result, or how was that race for you?
I don't know. I was worried about Ake because I know he has. Oh, sorry, my mic. He has a lot of pace. So, but eventually in the race, he didn't come closer. So yeah, we
Yeah,
just drove we had our own pace and it was really good. So we managed also a bit, especially for the tires. And yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I'm really surprised actually.
I think this is your second place in a row, so I think you're looking very good in the championship right now.
Yeah, I didn't
Also,
expect it. So
yeah, Aaron, I think he had some issues unfortunately with in the beginning where he lost his front wing and kind of just had to make do. But I mean, he drove a good recovery. But moving on now to Adam, how was that for you? I noticed you were right on the back of Verk for that P3, but yeah, it was unfortunate.
We had a bit of desync. Was gaining, then it desynced on the last lap, and then I had to ride the curb, so I lost about 2 seconds, and just a bit of unlucky. But
But I noticed that
all
you
right.
actually, I'm sorry, I noticed that you actually drove really consistently, like as a you've shown your pace. I mean, in qualifying in general, your pace has been really good. You were on pole position for a few moments before towards the end.
Yeah, it could have been pole, but we had to jump out the way and we got damaged, so we couldn't set another lap. So
Can I say to Triton, we actually didn't pick our driver of the day. Of course, driver of the day is worth very little, really. Just bragging rights.
Yeah, we're gonna pick it at the
but
end. I
It's
think.
me, isn't it?
I
Well,
mean,
know.
obviously.
It's got to be.
But of course, as I often say, it sometimes can be a bit easy to pick the guy that just dominates. Silver drove a fantastic race.
Yeah.
But I was
will.
going to say that for me, of course, Aaron did a great job as well. I would pick Adam because just some of the performances he's had at the start of the season, where the DNFs and stuff, it can be very demotivating. And then whenever you get to a race like Baku, which is, it's Baku, it's not an easy track, one lap, let alone 26 laps. And to get himself together and to get almost a P3, but a solid P4 with a good quality lap as well, I think Adam deserves it, in my own personal opinion.
I would argue Adam is a strong contender as well. Actually, I'm gonna give my opinion. Excuse me. Afterwards, once I interview the final person, Mr. Wimpy. So how was that race for you, my friend? You did pretty good to keep it in away from the walls and claim P9, I think. So good points for you.
Yes.
Let's just say I haven't done that much management in a car ever in my life in an online race.
I noticed. I think you went.
messed my wing up on lap 3 or 4. I was running mediums, obviously softs. I mean, fresh mediums, and I had to change tires on I think lap 3 or 4, and I went straight onto hards. I don't know how I got to the end with changing tires then already. But just a big shout out to Ocean and Icewind for helping that car to the end. I went over the line with literally 82% tire wear.
Okay,
on
that
the
is
whole-
that's just on the limit, man.
That is very impressive. Especially on a pad. I know you're on a pad, so that's even worse, I would assume.
Yeah.
So shout outs to
you
Wimpy
have to
there.
be,
That was very well done.
You have to be really gentle with the throttle when you get to that stage. But what I think I called it on the stream, Wimpy, was your start. I don't think
I
I
had
already
a
got it.
really good start.
Your start was fantastic. I don't know if maybe I can upload it after the stream, But I think you gained like 6 places, and you were just slipping past everyone. I was like,
I
where
was
did you
really
get that
looking
start
out for
from?
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, just every gap I could find, not touching anybody, and just get away from everyone.
But
I
how
took
did
it.
how did you find managing the ERS? Remember, I think I was talking to you the last time about whenever you
Um,
get to those twisty sections, you can switch it off.
yes, I've really worked on that. I think I've ran, I think medium to high during the shorter straights. Alongside I've ran with the 90-degree corners. I've ran on hot laps, and then the last part at the castle section, I just switched it off completely to build some up for the long straight. But the last 4 laps, I actually turned off my fuel mixed right down to lean, and didn't touch the ERS at all. I put it off completely because I was running, I think on lap 20, 21 or 22. I'll check on my live stream. My tire wear was at 76 or 78% already. So I did the last 5 laps from that to 82% over the line with not touching any of those. So yeah, once again, it was some good help from Icewine and Ocean, helping me adjusting all the brake
It's,
bias and all that
I-
stuff.
as you say, some good nursing from Chief and Icewind, but at the end of the day, Wimpy, you're the guy that has to do it, so you're the main man. But
Yeah, well,
another points finish for you. You're getting slowly higher and higher up this leaderboard. It'll be a P1 soon.
I don't know. We'll see. We're working hard, but
It's
P1
looking good.
stuff. There's some good talent out there. I don't take anything away from the guys.
You've shown
Much
you've shown
respect to
a
them.
yeah, you've shown a lot of improvement, Wimpy. So we've been watching it. I mean, and the viewers have been watching it. So good job, keep
Mhm.
it up. And with that, I
Yeah, I
think
think.
I'll give my. With that, I think I'm gonna give my.
Well, just
Oh, sorry.
before you do that, Triton, can I just address what you were saying there? I
Yeah.
think I've called it before as well. For me, the most notable improvement from everyone has been Wimpy. From whenever he first began, I don't think Wimpy you played many racing games to the point where you're consistently racing. I think the most visual improvement from anyone has definitely Wimpy.
Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it.
But
Okay.
go ahead, Triton. Sorry to cut across you there.
So yeah, to close out the stream, I'll give we'll formally crown our driver of the day. So you made a good point with Adam. I would consider Adam. Silver also, Silver and Matthias also drove very well. And my pick was actually gonna be Timo. Because he drove I mean, despite everything that happened, he gained a lot of positions off the start and on that strategy, and he would have been around P6, I think, because I mean, Aaron was just super quick and ended up past all of them anyways, and was able to get a whole pit stop ahead. But it's a hard one to pick, this one. I mean, if you want to give it to Adam, I would be more than happy to give it to Adam, because I literally cannot choose because of how well some of these guys did today. So.
Well, I mean, there are, as you're saying, notable mentions. You know,
That bounce.
I can't argue with that, but no.
I mean, if you want to get like the rage of the day, I'll go to Bants every time, like no problem. But I don't know. I mean, you make a fair comment about Timo. It is a fair comment, but I'm just taking on board the previous races and the track record that Adam has had recently with a lot of DNFs. To be fair, I don't think he will mind me saying it. A lot of them have been self-inflicted, just maybe a bit of impatience, maybe wrong moves. And today, of all races, where you really need the patience and the knowledge and the technique in Baku to hold it together, and he managed to get a P4. I think that's it. That
Yeah,
not only, like I said, is to
that
do
is
it
a
on
very good
track, but
point. Yes.
to take that baggage that you've had mentally. I don't know it's only a game, but you do take your mental baggage or your previous races into your next race, and it can affect your confidence. And so to put it on P4, almost contend to P3. Me personally, I can't see anyone else but Adam. So we may have a
Yeah,
disagreement here.
yeah, no, I'm more than happy to give it to Adam. That is he was one of my choices, and if he's your only choice, then it makes sense. Then yeah, definitely Adam. So good job, Adam, driver of the day. Showing improvement. That's one of the things that we are always looking at improvement and all that, like you said, and carrying like that is a severe issue, especially for me, like carrying mental weight into a race. Like if I just keep doing bad and keep going like through bad results, it's just gonna get on my nerves. So, and then yeah, yeah, you guys are first-hand witnesses of this. So yeah, I am. Yeah, Timo knows. So yeah, I'm more than happy to give it to Adam. Congratulations. And with that, I think we're gonna end the stream here. We've gone long enough. So thank you guys for
I
tuning in.
think getting driver of the day from us is bigger than any P1.
Honestly,
who wants a P1 when you can get our driver off?
Yeah, not even Timo and Tara's driver of the day comes close to our driver of the day.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Timo, you had your.
Now this is personal, okay?
You had
I feel
your
the same way as well.
I don't know.
time, boys. Move along.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm ending it here now.
I'm gonna have to go all Irish on you. Allowed to swear.
So thank you everyone for watching. Tune in on Saturday for Tier 1 of SLR. Tier 2 will return next week with Tipsy and OceanChief, I believe, commentating while I'm on my vacation.
Sunday.
And Sunday is 2SRL, yes. And also
When-
Assetto
when-
Corsa
when
afterwards on Saturday.
When Bance and I show Timo how to do it in McLaren.
Excuse me.
That's
Tune in on
enough, Timo.
Saturday.
You can't talk anymore, Timo.
Tune in on Saturday.